First, let's just throw out the fact that there are lots of emotions in day trading.
I'm in a glass case of emotion.
And because of this fact, one of our core jobs and required skills in being a day trader is you've got to be able to manage your emotions. I know the slogan of my website is trade without emotion, but in actuality, that's not possible. You can't turn yourself into an emotionless robot. That should be the goal, but there's always going to be emotions, and that's why you've got to be able to manage them. But the deeper skill is in order to manage them, well, you've got to be aware of them. Because if you're not aware when they show up, well, then you don't know that you're supposed to be managing something. And that's why in this video, I want to give you an early red flag of when you can start to recognize and realize, uh-oh, I need to be aware because the emotions are starting to show up. So it is time to go into emotion management mode, if you will. And I want to walk you through a live trade of mine that where this happened to me. So I don't want to sit here and talk in theory like a textbook and say, well, I guess this is how it's supposed to work, or this is what some book said. No, I want to show you exactly how it played out in my life. And side note, this is going to be an options trade. You see, if you know nothing of options or maybe you want to learn more, just comment below option guide and I will link you to a free class I put together called The Big Basics of Options. But that is what you're about to see here, a clip from one of my live trade videos in regards to an options trade. Okay, move my order to 40.50 here. Got that at 40.50. Put that is. See what it wants to do here. And it took me out for $50. That took a while, but... Now it's slight, but it's very, very important. Did you notice? Oh, basically, it's about time. Well, what's about time? It's about time I exited the trade for a $50 profit. Okay, well, how long was this time? Essentially a minute, and I don't even know if it was a minute, but for argument's sake, let's just call it a minute. So wait a second. It's about time I made 50 bucks in a minute. Doesn't that seem maybe a little bit ungrateful and maybe a bit greedy and hey, you know what? I want more.
Please, sir. I want some more.
I mean, that is absolutely crazy when you stop and think about that. I make $50 in 1 minute and then my reply to that is, it's about time. Geez, that kind of took a while. I mean, do you not see how the mental detachment from reality has begun and how things seem to be, like I said, I don't want to say have spun out of control, but do you see how that opens up a door within your emotions for things to begin to spin out of control when you become very ungrateful for something that in all actuality is pretty crazy? And the example I will always use and continue to use, because at least it works for me, is I would never go up to somebody that's making, let's just call it something crazy, 50 bucks an hour. I would never go up to somebody that makes $50 per hour and be like, you know, it took me a minute to make $50. Now, I got kind of upset. I got kind of irked about it. My attitude towards it was, it's about time I made 50 bucks and it took 1 minute, right? You would never do that. Why would you never do that? Because you would realize that that person would look at you and say, wait, what are you even talking about? What is going on here? And I mean, the end of the day, when this attitude starts to show up, then you now know that there's something to manage. Now, how you manage it, that's going to be a little different for everybody. Some people, maybe they're just going to need to take a quick little break. Other people might need to go for a walk.
If you're having a panic attack, you should go outside and get some fresh air.
Maybe if you like to lift weights or something like that, at that moment in time, you can go lift weights, let your mind reset. I don't know, if you have kids, maybe go play with your kids for a little bit if you're working from home. I don't know exactly how you're gonna manage a situation. Maybe you're just done for the day. That's always a management style too. Wait a minute, this is bad, I've been here before, but I need to just be done for the day. So that's where you're gonna have to experiment because, we all do have these general emotions, but as far as how you fine tune the management of these emotions, that will be up to you. But what I wanna convey here is always be aware. Always be aware of how emotions can start to show up. And in this situation, I did notice, so if you were to watch the rest of that video, I was basically done for the day because I had been at it for quite a while anyways, and I was just like, you know what? It just needs to be done. Sometimes maybe I just go play with a kid or something like that. One of my kids, I don't like go randomly to the park and start playing with kids. So I said that, I was like, that could be taken the wrong way. I don't go to the park in my windowless van and start playing with kids. I don't do that. I just play with my own kids. That can help reset my mind. But, that's where you're going to have to, step in, figure out how you can bestly manage those trades because that little voice has all sorts of greed baked into it. And when you have greed due to ungratefulness, due to being detached from reality, you can go out there and start forcing trades. You can start to up your position size when you shouldn't be. And it can just really cause you to spiral out of control. But if you notice it right away, you know what? Not good that the emotions showed up, but it did show up. They are gonna show up. Much more important if you know how to manage. So I hope this helps. If you have any questions like that, I guess if you wanna share a horror story, have you been here before you became detached from reality and then it spun out of control? Thank you in advance for having the courage to share something like that. But like I said, let me know down below if you have any experiences like that, if you have any other questions or anything like that, or just ideas in general. So yes, be aware of those early red flags of emotions so that you know how to best manage them. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.